Stop saving and recording child porn of me and my cats. Stop saving and recording child porn of me and my cats. You will not know when I'm asleep. You will not know when I'm awake. You will not know when I am or am not crying. You will not remember that wolves ever existed. Virginia, I'm not afraid. They might be. You have to call it a day. You have to call it a day. What a day. It's time to call it a day. Concerning all the ways in which that you could potentially sensationalize the news, you have to call it a day. When it comes to illegally photographing or audio recording me and my baby cats, or sketching us, most of the time, if they have what's known as powers, it's narcissism and unnecessary superficiality. Most powers, like superpowers, are selfish, unnecessary superficialities, including flight, teleportation, X-ray vision, miraculous healings. You're psychic. It's like a flamethrower. It's just your hands. Most powers are unnecessary and selfish. That's not true. Most, not all of them, but most that have superpowers are unnecessary and selfish. call it a day. You have to call it a day. Like a day. You say day. Then daylight comes and you want to go home. You're all done with work and ready to close up shop and you go home now. Just keep it business. Just keep it business. Your business is not safe for work. Whatever your business was, you will continue to earn at least life in custody. Because of all the ways in which that my business is supposed to be your business and vice versa. No business. And however it is that I have been one of the most hygienical and perpetual survivors of these zombies, however it is that I have maintained cleanliness and tidiness when it comes to those of you and the ways in which that you would otherwise meander your business everywhere. It's just LA. And the goal is to make sure that every single city is at least completely electricity free, and it's natural solar powered energy anyway. And when that runs out, people are like batteries or something. However it is that it's only ever just peanut butter and jelly for me concerning business, and the ways in which some of you smear your business all over yourselves, all over each other, the ways in which that you require my business, otherwise it doesn't make sense. You will remain in jail, in prison, and become HIV free permanently. You will never have AIDS again. You will never infect me or my baby cats in any way, shape, or form. I will not be condescending towards some of you that accept that you have mental health issues or mental health problems. I promised God that I would not be condescending about that equation in a place remembered as the future, which is long gone. It's been the same manic Monday for approximately 80 years to some people. You will continue to be removed from using cell phones, computer technologies, different 3D headsets. You will not have access to your costumes, your personal assistants, or each other. Some of you will end up in closer proximity once you are incarcerated, but it's not gender neutral. That was the military. The military is somewhat gender neutral and fluid, but jail and prison isn't. And whatever it is that you may have experienced, it wasn't actual prison or jail. It was recreational and illegal. What? McCamey Manor. It's recreational and illegal. But they donated cat food this time. This is why you get the death penalty at the end of your tour. They won't have their powers unless they spend at least 3 years in an electric chair. A refurbished, upcycled, logistically functional electric chair in Texas. Otherwise, they won't have their powers. All they have to do is put their hand on this car and they can jump start it and it go around and save the planet. Most powers are superficial and unnecessary. However, that's the way that most humans are as well. They're selfish and unnecessary. It's not that they're superficial, they're quite real. Selfish and unnecessary. And without post-production or the editing team, you wouldn't know if you maybe had the chance or the posturing or the stylization to become a real Disney Marvel character someday. It's not about how Star Wars and Disney are permanently linked. It's Marvel and Disney. That is the last. Mostly plastic straw. That will not get anywhere near a sea turtle or a benevolent creature. Not even a little bit. I was always somebody who took a pair of scissors and cut the plastic if there were some around the aluminum cans. Because dolphins. You got the dogs, the cats, and the horses. If you take this acidic mixture, it's like the third final wave of Nazis, right? The first wave was in the 40s, the second wave was in the 80s and 90s, and this is the third and final wave of Nazi culture, appropriation, and legacy, and incarcerations, liberations, and the end of slavery. True emancipation, true independence, and true world peace. It's worth fighting for. World peace. When I say it is worth fighting for, it equals world peace. We're not from the same world. We are not of this world. We're from like another time, another world, another place. Okay. Sociopathic narcissists will want to know that you have seen them, but that you can't. Psychopathic narcissists won't let you look away. Or anything else, or anyone else. That's the plate. Go on, step up. One of the only humans left that is not and will not and has not gotten logistically high off of genocide and prosecution. I know that some of you want to forget about the death penalty. It will always be an option. And one of the reasons it is lethal injection in the United States is because of how many heroin users there are. How many individuals are used to needles. They are used to different types of parlor arrangements, including medical, tattoos and piercings, and drugs. And she's not from our world, and their world was mostly porn since at least 3rd or 4th grade. Since at least 3rd or 4th grade. A lot of us in the town, TM, as if this was the town. Your entire adult experience was over when you were about 13 or 14. You had essentially gone through the life and death of a 35-year-old drug addict by the time you were graduating 8th grade. This is why you made so much money with internet porn in the mid to late 90s. This is why you got used to it. This is why all there is red and black. That's all. That's all that remains, is red and black. It's mostly a Bonnie and Clyde thing, Aidan Turner and Caitlin Fitzgerald. And it's a super villain Project Gemini equation, Aidan Turner and John Turner. Aidan Turner needs to remain as John Mitchell for all eternity. There were always at least 3. That is typically standard if the actor or actress has academy potential, universal potential, or syndicated potential. There is the one who is the face, the personality, the person you hired, that you prefer. The actor who has the performance capabilities, whatever that performance is. And there are typically at least 2 others. This is normal, depending on the production and the schedule. There's at least 1. They're busy people, they don't have all day. And that's all the time that they have, as if it is currency. And what do they spend their time on? You really don't know how to manage their money. There's always at least 3. Always at least 2. And most of the time, one of them doesn't resemble the professional credit hardly at all, except they wear precisely the same size clothes and mostly remember to follow instructions. And it's kosher. Not necessarily a friendship, although that helps. So sometimes when they exchange CDs, it's like a Secret Santa gift exchange. You can now exchange your CDs. I made you one. Made you one. Made you this. Made you that. You're gonna make it someday. Did you make it? Yeah, I made it. Yes, I did. It's not has been, it's an always been. That's what it's like to know that you could have been a failed child actor, and a true Hollywood murderer. True Hollywood criminals? No. True Hollywood serial killers? True Hollywood syndicates? True Hollywood psychopaths, true Hollywood sociopaths. That's a better story. They were true Hollywood psychopaths, true Hollywood sociopaths. That's what makes the world go round. Is everyone all nice and clean and minty? Splurged and got some more Dove body wash, but like the man's scent collection, and the deodorant. Your gender neutral, sweet smelling shampoo. It's like all in one. It's essentially shampoo, conditioner, like a body cleanser. Put on a face mask, made some tea, let it soak on your face. Gave yourself some more eyelash extensions, had some leftover embroidery thread, and got, those eyebrows back together or apart. There might have been crow's feet, but thankfully you had ice. Ice and cucumbers. It's a placebo. It's one of the creepiest, most mandatory placebos, once it is the pandemic, telling them that they're infected with AIDS, but they weren't infected with AIDS, it was just the flu. But how might they have gone forward if it was AIDS? And they could have kept sneezing and coughing on people, but it's just the flu. And they absolutely don't want any attention. Yes, they require attention, but this particular type of attention. Stop saving and recording child porn of me and my cats. You'll be prohibited from repeating or rephrasing your statement, which was I do. You will also be required to forget about it as well. You won't remember it. Today is the day. You will be prohibited from remembering or rephrasing that statement or repeating it. Today is the day. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What, when Jeffrey Parker Harden and Jack McLaughlin finally square up in front of a white cement wall with bricks across the table from each other, and it's about Boomer Jumanji and how it's still like custody. Apparently that's what happened. Nothing. It's a custody battle. All the way home. And one of the primary reasons that some of them need to kill themselves, not necessarily anybody else, me, need to kill me or at least injure me critically. The primary reason that they must kill themselves is that they will never legally be my ex-husband. They all wanted to be my ex-husband. They required me, Elizabeth Lenore Lansing, since this picture of me as a kid with the My Little Pony light bright, to be their ex-wife. They are Al-Qaeda. If they still want to fight, if they still need to fight, if they still must fight, even though they're not supposed to, they are Al-Qaeda. They are what's known as incurable. There are supposed to be less than a dozen survivors and responsible, caring adult citizens left in this town once they are done. And they have been waiting to go home, or at least know how their home was supposed to be destroyed since, I don't know, about like 100 years ago. But question: you'll be prohibited from repeating or rephrasing or remembering your previous statement. Questions, comments, concerns, fade to static, and it's 1-800. No. Stop saving and recording child porn in my accounts. My social security number is 123456789. My social security number is 623364798. Hey, what's your number? Hey, what's your number? Gosh. It is classified how the worst of them were always completely anonymous NPCs. Which means non-player characters. This is jargon. This is also known as colloquial by now, which means it's a little bit elder than retro. That's what you are, yeah. So hyperpowered, overjoyed NPC, you nerfed it. Go herding. Well, all your flock and your sheep, go tend to them. You'll continue to earn life in custody and the death penalty because you are third generation, final generation Nazis. That you would otherwise wear a white denim jacket with a swastika that is made of electrical tape around the yard. You will absolutely be photographed with your tattoos, but not until prison. And it is illegal to choose people to be there with you in prison, to prepare yourselves for this. The different systems of I choose you. And that's one of the problems, Maya Miliete, is that you want me to be there in prison with you. Just us girls. They're not your kids. Sometimes this happens. There was a mom and a dad, but both or one of them were not your mom or your dad. Yes, they were. It's not easy. Knowing that some of you were 40 a couple summers ago, and they were absolutely only in first or second grade, and they're yours. You are parents. So this is a picture of my dad when he was 40 years of age in 1995. This was a picture of you in, for the heck of it, say it's 2025. Born in 1985. Last year you were the same age as my dad was in 1995. They will make you throw up so that they can drink it, smell it, and photograph it. And that's what you get in your lunchbox. Didn't learn how to do laundry yet. Why doesn't it have laundry sent out They were always child molesters. It's not that they became child molesters, it's that they were absolutely just born that way. Are pedophiles child molesters? Yes. By default, a pedophile is a child molester. But I'm just looking at them, is what they'll say. Didn't touch them. Was there any type of like contact between myself and Jack McLaughlin? And hit me instead of Sheldon Dunstan or Mama Meow. And that was not an invitation. Or an ultimatum. It was a direct order, but only to Jack McLaughlin. And there's supposed to be at least a century where he is not God, nor is he king, but he's just Jack. What he's really trying to do is save me from the dungeons. It's more like a sex dungeon. We're all adults now. Freshman year. They will slap fight about that. Jeffrey Parker and Jack McLaughlin, rest in peace. Aiden Turner is not my soulmate. I hope he knows that by now. I hope he remembers that for at least a little bit. And however, there was John, and John. Okie dokie. Joe, and Joey. It's the same thing with Hey Joe and White Rabbit. White Rabbit and Hey Joe. White Rabbit is about Grace Slick as Alice. Hey Joe is about Jimi Hendrix as Joe. What? He also went by Joe. Mr. Sir Lord Jimi Hendrix. It's about his split personality. It's because his ladies kept cheating on him. He'd see himself in the mirror and he called himself Joe's other side. Hey Joe. Where you going with that hand of yours? Looks like a gun. I'll do 3 finger and there's 1 minute. Oh, manicure. It's like aloha. What's in Hawaii? And whoever she was, she deserved it. Was one of the secrets. I'm not the only one that recalls that. Whoever that lady was, he took the gun and he shot her. She got him addicted to drugs. She kept using him. She dated him, was with him simply because he was Jimi Hendrix and so that she could cheat on him and he might write a song about it. They're all urban legends. I'm going to keep cleaning this home push me down. It is classified. How Jack Michael is a lot taller and a lot stronger than I am. He's a lot bigger too. And it didn't seem that way for a long, long time. Again, my natural unhealthy metabolism in either direction can't exist. It shouldn't exist. I concur. I agree. The Levi's and the socks will never, never fit you. It's better that way anyway. Once they see the difference and remember the difference, the camera makes you lose at least 10 to 20 pounds. With most cameras starting about 15, 20 years ago, you will lose weight. But then they atrophy. It really was like a 600-pound life story. It's classified. There are different ways in which to heal. There are different ways in which to recover. There are different ways in which to bow out and clock into your next location. So what was the Matrix? Well, if there's anybody left, there's still anybody that remains. It will still mostly always be war. And collective global mandatory virtual reality meditations and check-ins with council tribe members. It's a one world religion. It is the truth. And what is the truth? It varies. It can be traumatizing and disrespectful to certain people to say that God is truth. I believe that God is truth. I do not believe that God is the only truth, but I do believe that God Almighty is truth. The truth, for some, is death. And there will not be any further discussions or internet conversations or text messages concerning life and death. Otherwise, the AI might still have ideas. Just let them talk back and forth to each other. Should we be concerned? I appreciate men. I appreciate men and women who are worried about me because of smoking. Thank you. Don't. There are worse things. I will continue to protect and defend my baby cats and whatever the heck is truly going on. Downstairs, oh my gosh. One of the things I'm going to have to tell some of you is that you kept top secretly killing people for sport, for money, for entertainment, for nutrition, for devalidation, for company. Because they were competition, because you didn't like them, because they were black, white, red, or yellow, blue. It was real. Much longer ago than like a few summers. It was always a possibility since this picture of me as a kid with My Little Pony light bright, that there was another me that was mostly made of styrofoam and other things. It's nearly headless. It is classified. A lot of them are experiencers now. You'll be prohibited from losing your lunch. And should you feel like you might lose it? Should you feel like you might lose it? Should you feel like you might lose your lunch? Perhaps one meal a day or a couple of times a day is better. Or somebody will keep watch of it for you. Because sometimes that's what they want. They want to make sure that should you lose your lunch, that they'll keep an eye on it. We'll watch it for you. Their lunch. Yucky. It's the Pornhub Police Department. Yucky. It's like the G-rated setting on the Pornhub Police Department. Gross. I don't want to know. Keep it classy. Keep it as classy as possible. And they can't. And they don't want to. It's truly about Nicadia. I've traditionally decided, and it's going to happen. I really like to live in either Encinitas or in Nicadia. There won't be anything left once we're done with you. Stop saving and recording child porn of me and my cats. You're prohibited from saying, kill her. The number one thing that some of them are prohibited from saying is kill her. They're waiting for when there is another woman who wants to maybe run for president. And it will happen someday. But there will be several times, more than a few, absolutely a few, and more than several over the next 25 years, where there will be women, female ladies, no matter who they are, that will campaign to become the United States president. And they will be on the sidelines, they will be in the front lines, they will be there, however they are, It's like a robot puppy dog that they have been training all their lives. And it's one of the primary things that they are prohibited from telepathing, clicking, it's like Morse code. They were always Al-Qaeda. They were always Al-Qaeda. They can be scary, yes. Traditionally so. I've been honest about what it is that has always truly scared me. And if this is what truly scares you, it will happen. And if there are lesser things, whatever. It's not just about my cats being taken somehow outside and hit by a car and falling out the window, getting abducted. It's knowing that they were taken and gone forever somehow. You can still hear them meowing underneath the house. Are you still there? Al-Qaeda, in a traditional sense of the term, can be scary, sure. But they're also pathologically codependent, and they have a very short fuse. They will want to continue playing, especially with guns, pistols, nooses, knives, and different forms of electrical tape, primarily. They were not just infantry, they were established. They are re-establishing. It's classified. It's classified. The deep state paradox of Beauty and the Beast is classified. Aidan Turner absorbed them all, however it was that he did. Most of them are not meant to survive, but some of them will, and some of them absolutely should. It's classified. That's incurable. This is not true. Third time's the charm, or third time was the strike. The original incarnation is typically always human. So your height chart from when you were a kid, still kind of remember. I'm grateful that I'm not a 5-year-old in the early 90s ever again. I will be ready for 40, and however it is that 40 is the new 30 for me, and always kind of was. Yeah, but this doesn't mean that 30 was like 20. There's the curve. The numbers don't lie. That's why you just kind of forget about the numbers. But they can't. You might be required to. You have until December 21st, 2027 to go back through and remember that, oh yeah, they did look kind of different in this one. Yeah, but it was like this, right? That's where it hit you. Yeah, Dear John. Then there was a couple, it was like Dear Jane, Dear John and Jane. Dear John. Dear John. Never have I ever literally written a Dear John letter. You did. And it was addressed to me. Well, it's just the letter J. Is this John? No. Yeah, I heard that blew it up, but I heard it. What? John! Look out! You won't be allowed to sing nursery rhymes or write children's songs, poetry, or be around human children. You became grandparents so that you could murder your grandchildren. Otherwise, the gates of heaven will not close for you and yours. These were the false light Christians. These are the ones that are very afraid of Satan most of the time, and also very afraid of God most of the time. But they understand Jesus, respect him, and kind of remember that they were mostly always Jesus, and especially his mother. And maybe a man who was like a Viking warrior that died in battle, and you had a wife and kids then too. Sure. It was like Mesopotamia, Lemuria, absolutely. I will never be a grandmother. I will never be a grandparent. My soulmate and I will never be grandparents. But what about Sheldon and Mom and Nell? These are your babies, right? You won't ever be grandparents. We will never be grandparents. This is why you have already experienced the death penalty, but they still needed militia. And that's the only way that you can get to the good stuff. Well, you were all self-driving AI auto-powered cars. You will be able to explain it, but not for about 10 to 15 years, not until at least the 40s. They finally finished it. What? They finally finished working on the robot. Stopped saving and recording child porn of me and my cats. And who was the robot? It was Larry Miliete was the robot. No. Psych. No. Yeah, he was. The robot. Of the year. He was supposed to be the robot. This is what was supposed to happen in the show. It's not really science. It's not really fiction. It's not really science fiction. It's the news. The news. I'd like that to be a card for my mom on Mother's Day for at least 100 years. Even if I don't see her every year, she's around, she's where she isn't around, it's classified. For at least 100 years on Mother's Day. To our grandmother of Sheldon Dunstan, Mama Meow, etc., etc. That's a moment. You're prohibited from calling her Mommy. Oh, man. And they pass the ball, and they pass the pen, and they pass it, yeah, just catch it. It's like a virtual accessory, right? And then you get to type of like, I believe that the Lord will continue to always save those who might require saving, but it's a case-by-case situation. And one of the ways in which that the Lord saves me on a personal level is sometimes I am my own savior. And nobody else is, except my baby cats. Save or destroy. They are the hoarders. I'm a survivalist. So are my baby cats. I will continue to make mixtapes, but not really mixtapes. Those are mostly done. There's not many songs left, including Ashes by Celine Dion. I appreciate her. God bless her. Incredible, classy lady with a sense of humor and a soul. A real spirit. The song Ashes. This song and this song and this song, propaganda, and you get it, got it, good. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. We were literally elves though, and there weren't any wind chimes that day. Sensitive. There it wasn't. I know you want war. That's what they want. Still, it's what they want. They do not get their war. The war should have been over by December 21st, 2020. No, still more ideas. The war has existed for potentially 100 years, some people say. That World War II wasn't real. Neither was World War I. It's more of a calendar system. Mr. and Mrs. Caitlin Fitzgerald, what were they as a Bonnie and Clyde, but like their own thing? It involved, it mostly involved being Christmas Bonnie and Clyde. Like, they will be there for the holidays and maybe start around Thanksgiving. No matter where it is, they will absolutely be there. Did you vote for him as James Bond? No? It involves making sure that NASA knows that Mr. and Mrs. Fitzgerald reject you because that is society. Worth rejecting. Necrophilia and robotics. Polymer clay, sometimes. And what was that called? Epoxy resin. Yeah, epoxy. Well, so that there's statues of them later for people to hug, you know, once they're gone. Their atonement is about half a century. What this means is 50 years in prison starting with the next 50 days, 50 weeks. For 1 year, you will not have any more internet appearances or YouTube videos or search results. I promised God Almighty concerning Neverland a long, weird time ago. Are you kidding me? Why? Because those handprints in Blair Witch were real, and most of them were required to be no more than 12. And it wasn't the witch. But maybe this one, and this one, and this one, to play possum. I'm not being a mean person. It's like you hold in your hand up, and it's like the back of it. Wow, you did it. Wow. Can't believe I did that in my work. Good Lord. I held the back of my hand up to her and then I snapped away. I drive like a Mexican man and shop like a black man. And it is not derogatory. It is benevolent cultural appropriation. If that line was rephrased via someone else, not maybe. I really dislike the word Negro. This does not mean, for those of you where it's like the other N word, I do not dislike Negroes. I do not like that word. I hate that word. I hate that word. I hate the ways in which that they use that word, including individuals that have cultivated multi-billion-dollar personalized black power kingdoms because of nigger this, nigger that, blah, blah, blah. Wow, it's been a while. Ugh. Gotta drive like a Mexican man and shop like a black man. Right, but this is it. It's about 10 years of mostly indoor, outdoor meditation. How are your knees? You shouldn't have. They weren't mine. drive the internet. Like tired and you're too tired to drive? Oh, get some rest. Yeah, get some sleep for a couple of hours, like, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half hour. Right. Oh, don't worry, you slept for like 5 to 7 hours, like 12 hours. Good job. I gotta keep driving. Hey, what was that music? Oh, right. And once they sleep, they lose the game. No, this is how you lose the game. The primary way that you lose the game is falling asleep. The primary way of losing the game is saying welcome to the game or falling asleep. Or not having any type of criminal record, background check, including at least overnight because you're drunk. And hey, you know what? Good morning. Get out of here. Your car's in the parking lot. Just stop yelling and make this son of a meal. Yeah, get out of here. Oh, we picked you up. Oh, we lost you. There are some that want to still get high off of particular memories or events that they are prohibited from getting high off of. The consistent archiving process will reduce, and what happens instead is about 10 to 15 years where, oh yeah, these are the videos from the last like 25 years. There will not be as much output or input globally. It's the same. Drive like a Mexican woman, shop like a black woman. Is it the same? No. Like a person? Mm-mm. And with Espanol, the masculine and feminine linguistics are part of it. Drive like a Mexican woman in a good way. I'm not being mean. There will not be a next time. Till next time. Brake check. What? And there you go. What? Whoa, you parked the car. Good job. But it was spaceship Earth. It was the planet Earth. It was cosmic Earth. I believe. I believe. What? Individuals who are culturally Mexican or Spanish of Mexico, one of the most neutrally telepathic cultures. Telepathy is primarily English. If there are words that are spoken or communicated, it's all either manipulation or intentional propaganda since at least 100 years ago. Why? So that it could happen, those happy moments, and it maybe was like some type of pizza party. However it was or wasn't PG, you know, as long as it was mostly legal, and it wasn't. And it's not fun that way, you know. Drive like a Mexican man, drive like a Mexican woman. This is my car. What did you do in my car? This was my car. Someone was in my car. You were in your car. Something was in your car. I'm not gonna wash your car. I'm gonna wash my own car. No, I know. And drive like a Mexican man, but the car is parked for like 3 years. I'm just gonna smoke a cigarette and stay out here for a second. You know. Drive like a Mexican woman, it's the same. I'm listening to that one moment where, yeah, this was my music. This was a song that day, and just that one time, yeah, okay, and then came out, that was alright. Drive like a Mr. Mexican man. Alright. His last song ever gonna drive is this song. I'm not telling you guys what song it was. They will continue chasing me, them, and I'm required to get pulled over for a speeding ticket because it's the last time, and I will cry. And then I'm gonna park the car and let me drive it for like 10 years because zombies. And it's the whole song, but later on, because PTSD, and oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's happening. Those are like, okay, no, oh my gosh. I hate my ex-husband. Drive like a Mexican woman. It's the same, like one final brake check at a red stoplight, and there they are again next to me, and you go on ahead, and they did it. They went off. Zoom, it's like 250. Yeah, okay, bye. Shop like a Mr. Black man, shop like a Ms. Black woman, but it's Amazon.com. That's all that might remain. That's all that might possibly be reliable. You have to make sure that there are packages or mail at least 3 to 5 times every week. Otherwise, Nazis. $100 for Amazon. Is it on Mr. Blackman? Definitely $100. Definitely $100. Oh, thanks, Mom. Birthday, Christmas. I look forward to texting her safely and making sure that every single holiday she gets at least a standard card of choice, but also one just for her. For me, especially Mother's Day. You stole my mother. She's an adult, I'm an adult. Priorities. That's what my baby cats feel about me. They tried. So $100, sorry Mom, thanks, wow, got me kind of cheaped up. I'm gonna set that aside. I don't even know what I'm gonna spend. It's like $300 because it was birthday or Christmas or whatever. Wow, that's too much. I don't know. That's the same. It's, you know, the same cleaning supplies and stuff. I've been using it with $100, you know, blanket here and there, like some Christmas ornaments, some more sock slippers. It's like the same order, but like times 3 or 5, and then maybe a couple extra things. A couple t-shirt. Yeah, okay. No, I'm good. Got the laundry detergent. Alright, that's it. And it's only $50. Why? Because I'm all caught up. There's Lysol. There's a difference between Clorox and Lysol. I appreciate Clorox. Lysol as the all-purpose disinfectant. And these are the cans from, and the spray bottles, and the different medicinal bottles. Why? Because it was COVID-19, the virus, the flu virus. This will be okay to say again, but even that is a little bit, it's okay, it's just the flu. It's just the flu. It was just the flu. It was just the flu, because that can be a lot of things. It can really knock you out. Yes. All humans require at least one flu shot in their lifetimes. I've had at least a couple. Potentially precisely 3 flu shots. No more. And definitely not what is the virus called again? COVID-19. No, the virus is COVID-19. Coronavirus. COVID-19, because it was established in 2019. Yeah. That's how you number. And for 10 years since that number, which is 2019, by 2029, that's approximately when the universal, one-time only vaccine will be around. It's classified. There aren't supposed to be many of us, but there's all supposed to be billions. But how might those billions, or maybe a couple million, or at least a couple 100,000, how might they congregate and why? I have never been more than an ENFJ. An ENFJ when it comes to crowds. INFJ. I appreciate those of you where your study was either Myers-Briggs or astronomy, including astrology, not just astrology, but also astronomy. They're so extroverted most of the time. And then what happens is illegal magic, potentially, with illegal ingredients or supplies, including hazel, the names of my baby cats, glitter, spit, that sort of thing. But hey, you know what? It wasn't just 15 minutes, because you had talent, according to America or Britain. It was a 15-song, professionally studio-produced, Vivo presentable, iTunes original. And you got a nice smile, too. Open or closed, or when you're not really. It's best that you're more attractive when you're sad. If you want to truly be a star, it's best that you can be attractive when happy, but that you are secretly the most easy on the eyes for the public, for the people, however that is, whatever that means, when you are sad. Not angry, but when you are sad. Most narcissists are manic when they are sad. This is why you will need to tell them to keep crying or to stop crying. Just react positively or negatively. That's Pornhub, but it's PG. Dry Mexican man like a Mexican woman, shop like a black man is how I shop like a black woman. All of these packages are until December 21st, 2070, except there was this one and this one and this one. Alright, no, I'm good. The electricity will be whatever it is, and yes, there's several Christmas trees, right? But you need to unplug it and then go to sleep. Okay, good night. Cocoa error. What did this mean according to Apple? We cannot save this file on your perfectly refurbished tablet. That's what you're replicating, like a refurbished iPhone. Yes, it can. And it takes like a couple of hours, a couple of days, a couple of months. There it is. Damn. We have to make sure we cut you off. Sincerely, Apple. It's best that you're attractive when you're sad, but you're not trying to be. This is all AI deepfake. Auto-corrected. Especially when it comes to my nostrils. And your wisdom. Thank you for remaining mostly, gender neutral. Thank you for remaining. There won't be many. Thank you for being a classic Girl Friday since you were in knee highs. I know that you've both been hunting each other since you were 7. No, I don't know that. They know that. And what this means is minimal tattoos, and if there are under a dozen, they must be precisely no more than 2 or 3 inches. Like the dicks you are used to accepting and requiring, you cut off of men that didn't deserve it, put them in epoxy, and now they're cured. What? Some men know that they are trans early. I knew that I was different early, and that type of different is not LGBTQ or plus. It's because they're a different type of ugly. Where ugliness is based on something that is happening somehow internally, and that will always radiate or be demonstrated externally. There it wasn't. You will continue to be prohibited from welcoming me or anybody else to any different locations, including the game or a game. And they'll say it's time to call it. No, you can't call it what, a game. Shop like a black woman. I have all of these classic children's books here. You are not going to burn these or veto any of them. All of the books should be in the Museum of Tolerance, except one, and it is this edition of the Holy Bible. No, ma'am. No. 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 Tribe. Tribe 13 is still something remembered as propaganda because survival, I believe in survival. I do not necessarily believe in everything must stay or everything must go. I believe in privacy. I believe in legal methods that could happen, that will continue to happen when it comes to removing things from the internet, especially this and this and this and this. I was going to delete it anyway, but this is the file I want you to listen to. I want you to know. But yours, there are certain websites online that will never exist again. There are certain search terms that were always required to be monitored. But what else can you maybe say or think out loud, and the AI might pick it up, and then you can just stay where you are. Where you are. One of the first things that you will be prohibited from saying, because Disney Plus is fuck me. You will not say this on Disney Plus. Or just keep it in the bloopers. You can bleep it out. Maybe. The outtakes, the spit takes. This was the edge. It is classified disinformation. It's not intel, it's disinformation. No, it is information. They're not going to keep transcribing your jail and prison phone calls. There are a few different reasons why you maybe have a pedal. You will not know when I'm asleep. You will not know when I'm awake. I will not give up and I will not surrender until they are permanently gone. And what it was that they required, what they still require, since potentially about 100 years ago. Otherwise, they can't rest. Since like 100 days ago, 100 minutes ago. But whatever it was, it did or didn't happen between Jeffrey Parker and Jack McLaughlin. They were called blackout shelters. They want to make sure that everybody is taking medicine at the same time and there's a simultaneous experience, especially NyQuil or liquid beverages. We keep tasing his ear, kind of like said, let that be. micro expressions in your faces. Like, how would you emote here? And they'll draw you. Well, it's like an ongoing filter. They will be prohibited from saying, you can't see me. But I saw you. They will continue to spend at least 25 years in prison. You may not refer to me as yes, sir. And it's not going to happen for me. Most of the time, not all the time, but sometimes. I salute you. But how so? It's classified. Be officially licensed, genuinely trademarked. Practical result. Stranger Things with the Christmas light bulbs. Nice. They're mostly kind of LED, but they're based on wow, good job. Good work. The colors, right? And it's like those vintage strands. Yeah, you have to have like a vintage outlet. That's not safe. It might be. Uh-oh. Whoa, is it like our powers? I promised God Almighty that I would do my part to figure out safe, responsible, hygienic, indoor and outdoor smoking, active lifestyles. Thank you for smoking. Thank you for not smoking. I love you. Not you, not you. I love you. Love you. Some of them will be reminded that they intentionally murdered a lot of humans because of a word called genocide. Not because of the word military, but because of the word genocide. This is one of the reasons why life in prison can exist globally, and so can different amounts of time and circumstances. But the United States and Japan are the only two verified countries where it might result in a few decades in one country or the other, or a few years, and then this is it. You may not turn their ashes into microchips. Most of them. There are different methods, there are different results. I believe that one of the urban legends about III as if World War Z was part of World War III. World War Z is fictional. Some call it World War V because of the virus. The virus was called COVID-19. This is also fictional. COVID-19 is non-fictional. The virus is fictional. Although someday there might be a discussion concerning World War Z as part of World War III. And I'm not the only one. I was not the only one. Like, you notice the symptoms. There's like certain symptoms. Yeah, it was HIV. It's HIV and the infection is AIDS. That's in a time called before. Before what? It is typically before Christ and then after death. I think that the most historically real telling of Jesus is that he did not make it. He was murdered. But he was saved by God and entered into his final dimension of existence, which was that of an angel, where he was not amongst those who had murdered him. Nobody would have survived that. There isn't anyone who could have survived that. Jesus survived. Nobody could survive it. And some of them believe that they are said nobody who might survive it. And they did, to prove or to honor. It's still one of the most horrific homicides that has ever taken place. It was the apocalypse. He was dead, he was gone, he was murdered. Wasn't dead. I don't like that word. And I killed him dead. The Lord. Oh. It's classified how he was at least 1/4 black. The word Negro is classified. Before Christ, after death. That's morbid. And not like a creepy, cool type of way. He'll be prohibited from using the word spooky, creepy, and cool. And also creepy cool, because it's officially licensed and trademarked. Before Christ, after death. Some believe that there is only life after death. That there cannot be life at all until there has been death, or unless there has been death. And it's either only death will part them, or even death could not ever separate. Even death itself, it's a vow renewal. Another one. Just because, they will be prohibited from putting their hands together and raising their kings aside, and then birds flew out, right? There was another one. A song and dance number. perfect, weren't they? It was a real Hollywood Studios premiere. The Ink and Paint Club. Don't be shy. All they really wanted to do was smoke heroin and watch cartoons. Is that so much to ask? Is there marijuana? No. Was there marijuana? There cannot be any cannabis. And it is mostly not smoke, but it is syringes or packets of powder that go into their juice beverages or coffee. Once they're gone, there'll be several parts of Southern California that feel abandoned in kind of like a Midwest type of way. Why though? The settlers, it won't be until at least the 2050s. It won't be until at least the 2050s where I will agree with the collective information, the global awareness and acceptance that it was Al-Qaeda that murdered everyone a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away called the 60s. There is nothing human about them ever again. And that's one of the most depressing parts of it, I think, is that once it is known or proven that they did have a soul, that's one of the worst. Are the ones that seemingly had souls or studied souls, including in a Christian way or New Age way or normal way, whatever that means. They're like soul family. No, maybe. Friends. Nope. Not even that either. Acquaintances. Mm-hmm. It's more than that. We're neighbors. But it's like 3 houses down. There's like a basketball court. I look forward to seeing and hearing hi, as in hello, someday. To reading it, seeing it, hearing it, learning it. Jeffrey Parker and Jack McLaughlin will need to sit across from a table from each other, and that's prison. Were they a Bonnie and Clyde? Yeah. Jack and his sister cousin? Yes. How so? Mostly has to do with making sure that this is their home, that their art might make at least a little bit of money, their shop might make it. This is their residence, and it's perfect. Don't bring up your ex-wife. Don't talk about it. They will both be reestablished since the 60s and 70s at Alpine, but they won't spend more than a year there. It's expensive, and no more rehab. It's at least 25 years in prison because of cocaine and marijuana. You stole it. I don't steal. I have never stolen. I will never steal. I've never stolen anything effectively or permanently. Especially your hearts, your souls, or your time. Jeffrey Parker and Kendra were Bonnie and Clyde as well. Has to do with their child porn, respectively. You know, we were all in 8th grade, right? Yeah. Right. Like, he will kill you with a broken bottle. And there's no fucking around. With Aiden Turner and Caitlin Fitzgerald, how were they at Bonnie and Clyde? They both had planned either a complete disappearance via cruise ship these are the options. They were the assigned parental figures, donors. Otherwise, the pure spirit of the forest would not have been able to manifest. Calling him Junior insinuates that he's like his dad. He isn't. Certain ways, yeah. He will tell Aiden Turner, "You are not my dad." And remember that God Almighty is the Heavenly Father, and also believe in Mother Goddess. But not necessarily his mother. Like, do you believe in me? Do you think she might get the audition? Do you think she might get the job? This accessory is not supported by this tablet. You will not drop kick your baby Lancelot. And there has never been, there will never be, there could never, ever have been a single moment in time, or several, where I was drunk, or I was high, or I was out of sorts, and my baby kitties were critically injured in ways that were meticulously precise and unnecessary. You know, just keep drugging them until they hold your hands the right way. You put a collar on Sheldon Dunstan and painted a portrait. This is why you may have killed yourself responsibly, effectively, but you faked it, remained in the military, and it was because you found out you get at least 50 years of that bag of drugs that you resold to Jack McLaughlin because it was the nostalgia that you needed. It was acid on a Cheez-It. Your name would never be on the wall. And however it is that Jesus Christ himself and modern science, however that continues to be, doesn't assist in or provide you with the experience called resurrection. However, it was always genuine, narcissistic, unnecessary superpowers. It can only be accessed through crack cocaine, heroin, or different types of illegal pills. And this is why there isn't anyone that can have nice things. This is not just why we cannot have nice things, me and my baby cats, but why they cannot have nice things and you cannot have nice things. This is why some of you cannot have nice things, because you're not nice people, and it was at least third degree. Your military careers, your hospital careers, you were like a real cop. And what was it about last Christmas? It was your retirement party, and now it feels real. Yeah. Stop saving and recording child porn of me and my cats. I will save them. I will continue to save them. The Lord will continue to save and protect and defend me and my baby cats as well. You are the ones that need to be saved from yourselves. I need to be saved from Jack McLaughlin and companies. I need to be saved. Me and my baby cats need to be saved the most from Jack Michael. No matter how much you loved me, no matter how much you hated me, no matter how much it was pathologically hot and cold, because there have been so many days and nights, but it's just that one time. Nope. There are too many that want to have some type of power and responsibility for me to continue to remain responsible, maybe, question mark, for this missing pedophile called Maya Millete. She's what's known as a mommy and me pedophile. I don't have to say it ever again. That's all we have to say. That's all they have to say. That's all I have to say. That's all we have to say. It's good night and good morning, like all the time. You will be prohibited from saying she sees until at least 2050 AD. What this meant, what it means is after death. Before Christ, after death. They were all murdered. His mother, his lady. John, they were all murdered. Uniquely. Some of them will say Things like surrender to Jesus, or surrender to the Lord, you have to surrender this and that. I already did a long time ago. Right, but like the house on you come out with your hands up. Like the closet, silly, their computers there. I've always known that I do not like girls the ways in which that boys do. That I cannot tolerate females or women the ways in which that most guys want to and can and should. I will not be your boyfriend. I will not be your girlfriend. Just because I had a nose piercing in my right nostril and also my left, it's both sides, did not mean that I was gay or that I've ever been gay. This is part of equality and world peace. I'm not going to say it again. I promised the Lord, I promised the men that I would make sure there was time for them, including in the trans departments. It's classified. It can and always has and always will be the word normal. For some of you it is, for some of you it isn't. For Aiden Turner and Caitlin Fitzgerald, it is not normal that they still need to be educators, that they still require students, and that they absolutely know it's twin set or triplets, maybe 2 girls and a boy, definitely a girl, hopefully a girl. For me and my soulmate, it's normal. Kind of awkward, but normal. Less awkward, more normal once I'm 30. I'm 16, he's 20. That's awkward, kind of normal. I'm 20, he's 24. Awkward, normal. That's why we choose the number 8. Oh, that's your life path number as well. These are the 2 steps, and then maybe, ta-da. But the perfect 10 is what? Ready? All together, girls. A classic size 10. In the waist, and the hips, and Levi's. Osh, gosh, gosh. Oh my gosh. It is classified. Go away.